Well, apparently Santa is off to feed the reindeer right now. But this is Winter Glow at Young Dundas Square. But for this one, I'm going to be heading across the street and checking out the Eaton Centre on the last Sunday before Christmas. And hey there, it is Sunday, December 21st, 3:50 p.m. is the time. The temperature is about -2 degrees Celsius. And again, I'm just across the street from the Eaton Centre, right near the intersection of Yonge and Dundas. This is North America's busiest shopping mall on what should be one of the busiest weekends. It was probably a little busier yesterday. I don't know if I just photobombed that little recording session over there. It's a pretty serious gimbal and camera. But this will certainly be my last Eaton Centre video for quite a while. And full disclosure, I wanted to go to Dufferin Mall today and check out the Toys R Us, which might not be around much longer. I was probably going to get to do the Eaton Centre in the coming days before Christmas. But a fellow Toronto YouTuber, the Ken Continuum, beat me to the punch. I saw he has a video posted tonight for going through Toys R Us, so I just kind of changed things up at the last second. So let's head in to the Eaton Centre. I'll walk the length of each of the main corridors. There's a big flagship H&M store. It's always quite festive in here, and they do an hourly snow and light show, and it is 3:53, so in 7 minutes that will be taking place. I already did a video on that, and this used to be a Nordstrom's, a big department store right where Simon's is, and I think this Uniqlo recently expanded. And sadly, that used to be a Samsung store. Not a big fan of a bank being in such a prominent spot. But we'll be cutting through Simon's. So on this end of the mall, there was an Eaton's department store originally when it opened in 1977, and I think it closed in 1999 and became a Sears. But Sears closed in 2014, and a few years later it became a Nordstrom, which exited Canada in 2023. And earlier this year, this Quebec-based retailer, Simon's, moved in. But each department store that moves into this location takes up less and less floor space. They've already subdivided the floor below here into retail. And there's an Eataly and a big flagship Nike store that are They're occupying some of the old Nordstrom space. Thought that guy might actually be singing. But the mall is operating on holiday hours. I think today it's open till 7 p.m. It'll be open till 9:30 up until the 24th. On the 24th, it's only open till 5. There's the new Italy. That's the second downtown Italy. There's another one of that Bay and Bloor. There's the big new Nike store. And there's some light decorations out by Trinity Square. I just did a video checking out downtown Christmas decorations where I walk through there at night. Just up there, you can get your photo taken with Santa. There's 3 primary floors here.
Not a lot of people.
There's probably people gathering for the light show, which is going to start in 4 minutes. Again, I have a video where I took in that entire show. But I appreciate the Christmas cheer in this mall. I went to Yorkdale not too long ago, another major mall, and I think that's actually bigger than this square footage-wise. And the holiday decorations were a tad underwhelming. That's a mall that's really gone upscale in recent years. Oh yeah, back to the holiday hours. I think it's closed on Christmas Day, and it'll be open Boxing Day from 7 a.m. to 9:30. And on New Year's, it closes at 5 p.m. But it will be open on New Year's Day, I think from 12 to 7. People perched up there on the overpass to get a good view of the light show. But I think there's over 1.7 million square feet of retail and office space in the Eaton Centre. And there's over 50 million visitors annually, so it gets more foot traffic than the big Mall of America, which I guess isn't surprising. It's right in the heart of the country's busiest city, connected to a couple of subway stations. There's an Indigo. That was the site of a big mass protest earlier. Just reading about that. The protesters were returning over $3,000 worth of merchandise, clogging their cashier line. Gotta give them credit for being clever. Lululemon all decked out. And just off in that direction is City Hall, where the Cavalcade of Lights is taking place. I'm gonna keep moving. I've already made a video on that, which I'll link to in the description. And if I stay in that area, we'll pick up a music copyright violation. And the video will be restricted in a number of territories and demonetized. Certainly attracts a crowd. Athleta. No shortage of options to buy a very expensive coat. Arc'teryx, Canada Goose. And straight ahead is where I guess you could call the other anchor stores used to be, although they're technically across the street from the Eaton Centre. Up until 1991, it was a Simpsons department store just across the street, and then it became a Hudson's Bay, which acquired Simpsons and took over the building. Oh, and the bridge is open. I think this was closed the last time I was here. Open for access to the TTC and path. So that was home to Saks Fifth Avenue and the Bay, which closed earlier this year. And they're tunneling under Queen Street for the Ontario line. There's a lot of infrastructure to navigate. So they've got everything boarded off. I have a feeling that they're going to chop this floor up into smaller retail units. And the floor below it, I can't really imagine finding a retailer big enough to fill that space. There's a look east. That's Yonge Street over there. And that bridge was replaced a few years ago. There's the iconic flight stop featuring 60 fiberglass Canada geese. They were briefly removed for a restoration and returned a few years ago. And I think one year someone put little Santa hats on them. And they ended up getting sued by representatives of the artist for altering his work. Kind of a silly nonsense lawsuit. Or you could head out to Queen Street. Also, right below us is the Queen subway station. Collector's Vault by EB Trends. I remember when this used to be a shoe store. EV and GameStop are doing well enough. They could open up this. RW & Co. used to be a level down. There used to be two big food courts, and then they merged them into one food court. But recently a food hall has appeared just below where I am. That's the Queen's Cross Food Hall. Got the Crapple store on the left. That used to be right above where it is. It's busy, but I imagine it would have been busier yesterday. Daily Light and Snow Show, presented by PayPal. On the hour, every hour between 1 and 8. And that'll take you out to Yonge Street right there. Big wait for the elevator. Aldo. Aritzia is expanding into a massive new space, but it doesn't look like it's open yet.
It's better than a truck. I love it.
is pretty rammed. So this was originally a part of the Eaton's department store, but it was opened up as retail. Or I guess subdivided into smaller retail. I haven't seen that shop before. Nobody in there. Apparel, jewelry, accessories, and more.
I know, that's what I was thinking.
There's a Starbucks. And there's an entrance to the ridiculously renamed Timu station straight ahead. Although everyone still just calls it Dundas Station because why not?
It almost looks like
But there's one more floor of fun down below. A long time ago, there used to be a really small movie theater here. Well, it wasn't a small movie theater, but it had really small cinemas. But the Eaton Centre was renovated and had this big addition put in where there's a Canadian Tire and a Best Buy. And some Ryerson, or I guess TMU, lecture halls as well that way. It's really just a boring hallway, so we're gonna head down here.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Let's get some food now.
There was an Old Navy just down here, but they closed recently and a Winners moved in. All right, let's head down and check out the food court. I bet it's absolutely mobbed. Jugo Juice. Whenever I live stream or starting from Dundas Square, I'll often pop over here and hit the men's room. Day end special, $9.49. one smells really good. Back when this mall had 2 food courts, there was a New York fries in each of them. And sadly, in this food court, before the renovation, there used to be an Arby's. Now there are no longer any Arby's in Toronto, which is a shame. It's my favorite fast food place. There's a Sport Check off in that direction. I think that used to be a Gap way back when. Some more eateries.
Wait. Jimmy the Greek, bro. Jimmy the Greek.
McDonald's. But we're gonna head back up. Sparrow.
Where are you looking?
All right, let's head up the stairs. So I skipped a few stores in that direction, but I don't feel like swimming upstream. To go back, there's Winners. There's also a Winners right across the street at the Tenor Building. And there's a Marshall's a few blocks north at College Park. The stores on this floor tend to be, I guess, down market a little bit. Suzy and Le Chateau. Le Chateau used to have a huge store a few floors up. Zoomies. Used to be branded as seen on TV. Hollister and the Gap, 2 former mainstays of any big North American mall. And Claire's. That store has been around forever. But we're just gonna head back towards the other end and that'll be it. For this one, there used to be a Microsoft store right down here, as well as the Nike store, which relocated, which we saw earlier. I think that's where Nike used to be, right there on the left. jdsports.ca. There's TNA, an off-brand of Aritzia. Oh God, we've got Wagobi advertisements in the shopping mall. It's one of the odd things about watching American TV or just being in America in general. All the pharmaceutical ads up the yin yang, not something we get a whole lot of here. Cosplaying in like a Christmas outfit. There's American Eagle, the brand you could say Sydney Sweeney saved, or at least their stock price. Ad campaign that ruffled a lot of feathers over the summer. It's a nice looking storefront, offline. It's a Shoppers Drug Mart over there. And here's the Queen's Cross Food Hall.
Yeah.
I'm kind of hungry. It's a nice bar.
I'm so sorry.
No worries.
There's something wrong with this.
I don't know if the camera picked that up, but a winter toque just flew over the railing. I handed it back to them. But this is it for the Eaton Centre over the holidays.
Yes.
I hope you enjoyed this one. I look forward to your thoughts and comments down below. If you wish to support what I do, there's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership down in the description. I've got an Instagram account at Johnny Strides. And there is a super thanks button appearing down below if you wish to say thanks that way. And that place makes a really good smoked meat sandwich. All right, so I will end it here in this awkward spot. So Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, and I will catch you in the next one. Yoink.